there's something about him. When you look at him, there are characteristics, there are personality traits, there are certain things that blend. So for you, it's surreal sometimes to look at him because you see his brother. And so the beauty for you is that you can know that you can love your brother and you can connect with your brother, even though you never got to know your brother. But he says that you know him. Does that make sense? Like, have you ever dreamt about him, or do you feel like you talk to him?
We talk about him a lot.
Okay. When you were, you won't remember this. When he was a baby, did he ever have experience, or toddler, where it seemed like he had an imaginary friend, or he was aware?
No, but there were toys and stuff that would go on that had no
Okay.
reason for going on. Christmas tree lights and toys.
Sure. Well, there's definitely a strong bond. Now, it's funny because your brother and your son obviously is here, and he's saying, "Okay, well, what are your questions?" So, if there's anything you want to communicate to him, he wants to give you the opportunity to do that today.
Does he know what was wrong with Tristan in these last few months?
It feels energetic. Something isn't the same. You maybe can help me understand this because it's not like he can come.
He got food poisoning and he was in bed for the next 3 months with terrible stomach issues.
Yeah.
But we don't know what happened. We don't know why it went away.
Well, a couple of things. One, the meaning or the purpose behind it was it's really slowed you down, didn't it? I mean, because you couldn't get out of bed, right? And you didn't feel very good to do the stuff that you wanted to do. It's interesting, Tristan, right? It's interesting because as I look at Tristan, I don't see. How old are you now, Tristan? Yeah, I look at him and he's like 20 years old. So I don't know if you have that experience where he looks old, or he is older than he is in his age. He is a mature young man, or he's an old soul, if you will.
Yeah, the stuff that comes out.
Right. So what's interesting, Tristan, is as I look at you, I see you much older than you are right now. And so I forget that you're 10, and so I got to think about how I articulate things, just so that you can understand them in a way that you get at 10. Because he's a very wise old soul, and part of the reason that you got the stomach stuff is so that it would slow you down, so that you could rejuvenate and heal. Now that I share that, and I look at you when I say that, because you might understand that at the level that he doesn't, because it just was a pain, if you will, to have to go through all of that.
Well, he had a severely broken arm, so maybe that he needed that time to let that arm heal.
Yeah. So otherwise, you're a go, go, go sort of guy. Do you know the Energizer Bunny? There's a commercial where this bunny slams on the drum.
The bunny, the battery.
Yes, the battery bunny. That's what I feel with you, is this sort of this Energizer Bunny experience. And so your brother's sharing that with you, that's who you are, and he kind of helps egg that on sometimes. Whether you're aware of it or not, he's helping to keep your energy high. But part of the reason that you had the stomach stuff and the severe broken arm is so that all of that healing could hear. So, to answer your question, yes, your son was aware of that and was healing on his side, but part of it, his explanation of why it happened, was so that there would be a slowing down for Tristan. Anything else you guys want to communicate to him?
Did he have a favorite video game?
Well, I'll tell you what. He tells me that the video games you play now are nowhere near what he was able to play.
Well, I have an NES.
I don't like this one.
Was released in 1985.
You still have the original Nintendo.
Yeah, the
The
original.
Nintendo Entertainment System.
Yeah, I have that. Or maybe Atari or something.
Yeah, but you have something now.
He's talking about your NES.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean you have like a current gaming system,
Yeah.
correct? Yeah.
What's that?
You have
your DS.
DS.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't know what the current. Your brother is saying that his favorite game would be something that you play now, versus
Yeah.
what he used to play. because what he used to play is nowhere near what you're able to play now. And so there's this acknowledgement of, if there's a favorite video game,
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of games, but there's an action one. I don't know what all of your games are that are action.
Yeah.
Does he get to play them, or does he just observe?
Oh, he plays on his level.
What's
But,
that mean?
he has a version there. So he's got a version in heaven of all the video games. So he gets to play video games too in heaven. And he'll observe you playing your video games.
So does he have like the video games from when he had them when you were like a kid, or now like my dad?
He would play now what you play.
Okay.
Because even in heaven, the games are better now. Which is funny, because how old was he when your son passed?
David was 20 when he died. Tristan
Okay.
was born 4 years later.
Okay. So how old would David be now?
He'd be 34.
Wait, what?
34.
Okay.
But to me, he'll always be 20 because
Right.
that's when he passed.
What's interesting is that he enjoys the signs. He says he still sends signs, or there are certain things that you see that you think of David, even though you didn't know him, that you guys see, and you go, oh, David's here, or oh, David's doing this, or oh, David's that. And that's what he wants to validate. It seems so tragic that he had to pass, and that's the word he uses. Tragic is the word he uses, because it didn't seem fair, and it didn't seem right, and it didn't make sense on the heart level. On the spiritual level, it was his time and his journey, but he's coming forward. He's so excited that you came with, because it's important that you all have this experience. Now, I'm going to pause for a moment, although I feel like David's saying that he'll still be here for this, but if there's anyone else that you want me to try to connect with, I can do so, or we can just continue with David.
Grandpa,
Yeah.
his daddy's daddy.
Do you have a picture? Well, what's interesting as I tune into his spirit, into his energy, is he looks at you and he likes to tease you, or he likes to joke with you and say, well, shouldn't you be outside shoveling, or shouldn't you be out doing work, playing inside with those games? But there's a lot of love that I feel, and there's a lot of joy that I feel in his spirit coming forward. He also acknowledges the sense that he is grateful to be able to come here to communicate, and I don't know whether it's your dad's. This is your dad's dad, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know whether your dad is like the type of guy who likes to come out and see mediums, or if he kind of rolls his eyes and would say, this is crazy. But I'm getting from your grandfather that it's kind of like he chuckles that he gets to be here with the two of you, because your dad wouldn't come do something like this. But your dad will also kind of want a message, even though he doesn't believe.
Yep, that's
Does that make
Dad.
sense? Okay. So what the message is for your dad is relax. Like there's a sense of your dad being sort of tense right now, or uptight right now, and there's an encouragement for him to relax, which is ironic coming from your grandfather, because I don't know that he always relaxed either. So what your grandfather's learned is how to relax. And so the encouragement for your dad is to relax.
Let's see. In the morning when it was like a school day, he'd like throw wet washcloths on my dad and uncle's face, and he'd play horn.
Play the bugle to get him up in the morning.
That energy is great, and that sort of it's like a I'm not saying naughty way to do things, but sort of a pestering way to wake up. And so have you gotten the cold washcloth on your face yet?
I don't know.
And not a bugle for you, huh?
No, I don't think Dad has a bugle.
Dad wouldn't do that anyway. He's
No.
usually gone by the time you get up.
So as your grandfather comes forward, what he wants to acknowledge for you is just that just be the good kid that you are, and that's going to take you places. You're going to enjoy the process of embracing being 10, playing your video games. Playing with friends. And he looks at you and says, leave it to you to come to do something like this, in a teasing way, but in a loving way as well. And the last sort of communication that he shares for both of you is and then he brings David in as well, is this acknowledgement that they're all together and they're all connected, and that none of you need to worry about what happens when you die, because they'll be there to
My
greet
dad's
you.
still here too?
Yeah. They're all here. And as they all connect with you, I invite you to close your eyes for a moment so you can see something internally. As the spirits create a circle of light around you, it's kind of like you're right in the middle of a big circle of light, and that light shoots up and out of here like a big spotlight, and that light goes out to all the people that are wanting to provide, needing prayers and healing today, and then that light shoots back down into this room, explodes, and shoots a beam of light into each one of you, filling you with the healing light so that you know that when you need support and you need healing and you need inspiration, that it lies within you, and that it's always within you. And that when you wish to connect to your own loved ones and family members in spirit, that they're simply a thought away. So with that guidance, clarity, and support, I leave you Spirit's message, that it may help you upon your path, provide insight on your journey, and remind you how truly blessed your soul's walk always is. And that concludes the session.
Thank you.
You're welcome.